Well, as we continue with a spotlight on the farm laws, and we've debated it now so many times over the past 2 months, 6 months actually, but more so in the past 2 months is daily developments took place. We've spoken about what the farmers are demanding, we've spoken about the government and farmer negotiations, the violence that unfolded, the politics of it and whatnot. Now today again, one more time, we've decided to discuss the contentious laws themselves. And you know, unlike many of the conversations that you will see everywhere, where most people who are sitting in these debates and panels have absolutely nothing to do with farming, with agriculture, or are extremely academic or theoretical, or have just read up 5 papers, have decided to become experts on it. We decided to actually get some more voices in from the farming side and on both sides. So once again, we're going to have a conversation on the farm laws which are at the heart of this face-off, standoff between the two sides, where the farmers say, some of the protesting farmers say it's detrimental, that they will lose whatever say they have right now in this demanding a cost for their own produce, that they won't have any protection if things go wrong in a contract that they enter, and that this is only going to end the mandis completely, thereby leaving them at the mercies of the private giants, whoever comes to buy their product. So they are saying, let go of these laws and bring in a new law which essentially promises us and assures us a minimum selling price, a cost that we will get for our produce, so that we know that there is some kind of assured income for what we are growing, and we are not left at the mercy of whoever is there to buy at whatever price they demand. On the other side, the government says this is step one, and nothing is being done to the existing minimum selling price setup. That remains. We are not even mentioning the MSP in this. But for long, everybody's spoken about breaking down the monopolies of those within these APMC regulated markets. And we've always spoken about it, and now we're doing it. We're breaking down the monopoly. We're not shutting the APMC markets, but we're allowing other people to buy outside, and that's only easier for the farmers. The farmers can choose where they want to sell. They have now the entire country as their market, and we're going to then create an infrastructure along with it in the coming few years to make it easy for them to sell it wherever they want. So that fight really continues. Let me say good evening to the panelists who are going to help us understand this better from the agriculture view. Mohini Mohan Mishra, All India Secretary of the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, joins us this evening. Lalit Patil Bahale, spokesperson for the Shetkari Sangathan, with us this evening. Dr. Narendra Pani, the lot of experience and understanding of this issue, a professor of the National Institute of Advanced Studies in Bengaluru, with us this evening. Thank you for joining us. And Adit Chaudhary, working committee member of the Rashtriya Kisan Mazdoor Sangathan, one of the groups that is out there vociferously protesting, with us this evening. Let me actually start off with Adit Chaudhary. Aditya Chaudhary जी, आज हम 3 या 4 बड़े पॉइंट्स पे डिबेट करेंगे. जो सब यहाँ पे हैं वो फार्मिंग में एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, उनका खुद बहुत क्लोज एक्सपीरियंस रहा है, तो इसमें ना कोई पॉलिटिक्स होगी ना कुछ और. अब आप पहले पॉइंट से उठाते हैं कि क्यों किसानों को ये लगता है कि इन नए लॉज के आने से एपीएमसी मंडियां खत्म हो जाएंगी.
जी, आपका जो सवाल है कि एपीएमसी मंडियां क्यों खत्म हो जाएंगी, देखिएगा ये जो लॉज हैं इनसे कहीं ना कहीं प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स, जो बड़े प्लेयर्स हैं, उनके लिए एक रास्ता खुलता है. और जब प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स के लिए रास्ता खुलता है, साथ के साथ उसमें ये भी आपने एक क्लोज दिया है कि जो स्टॉक लिमिट है वो कुछ नहीं होगी, वो कितना भी स्टॉक कर सकता है. तो कहीं ना कहीं छोटे प्लेयर्स जो हैं वो उस चीज पे कार्य नहीं कर पाएंगे, उस चीज को स्टॉक को नहीं स्टॉक कर पाएंगे बड़े लेवल पर, जितना कि एक अडानी अंबानी या बड़े ग्रुप्स जो है वो आकर के इन कानूनों का फायदा ले पाएंगे. ये कहीं ना कहीं बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स के लिए रास्ता खोलते हैं. और इन कानूनों के पहले से ही जो बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स हैं अपने देश के, वो उन्होंने काम भी शुरू कर दिया है इसी के स्ट्रेटेजी. तो उनको पहले से जानकारियां थी, या कहीं ना कहीं वो गवर्नमेंट के साथ टच में थे इन चीजों को लेकर के, वो पूरी तरह से उस चीज पर वर्क कर रहे थे. कानून आए भी नहीं थे और अडानी के वेयर हाउसेस बनना शुरू हो गए. तो हम लोग इस चीज को बिल्कुल स्वीकारना चाहिए कि जो मतलब मंडियां हैं वो उन पे बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव आने वाला है.
नहीं, तो आप ये कह रहे हैं, आप आदित्य चौधरी, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि क्योंकि जो छोटे या मिडिल साइज ट्रेडर हैं वो उतने बड़े स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं ले पाएंगे, वो एक बार में उतना बड़ा नहीं खरीद पाएंगे, तो धीरे धीरे वो छट जाएंगे और सिर्फ बड़े प्राइवेट कंपनीज रह जाएंगी, तो मंडी अपने आप बंद हो जाएगी। पर इससे किसान को क्या मतलब? उसको तो यही मतलब है कि वो कौन उससे खरीदने आ रहा है।
नहीं, बिल्कुल आपकी बात सही है, बट इसका इम्पैक्ट बायर पर तो आएगा। जो आज बायर आम आदमी है, जो आटा आज 20 रुपया 25 रुपया किलो खरीद रहा है, वो वही चीज जब एक 2-3 लोगों के पास ही अन्न का पूरा स्टोरेज रहेगा, तो वो लोग अपनी मनमर्जी दाम पर भेजेंगे मार्केट के अंदर। तो मार्केट मोनोपोली तो कहीं ना कहीं 2-4 लिमिटेड हाथों में चली जाएगी, लिमिटेड कॉर्पोरेट्स के पास में ही मोनोपोली हो जाएगी इस चीज की।
ललित बहाले, लेट्स स्टार्ट ऑफ विद दिस। ये वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट कंटेंशियस पॉइंट है, बिकॉज जब सरकार ने इसको अनाउंस किया तो उन्होंने कहा एपीएमसी की मोनोपोली हटेगी, लेकिन किसानों को तो फायदा ये, आपकी मर्जी, आप जहां भी उसको बेचे। लेकिन डर ये है कि अगर एपीएमसी मंडी वाले ही नहीं रहे तो फिर तो जो बचेंगे प्राइवेट कॉर्पोरेट्स, उनको उसी रेट पे बेचना पड़ेगा जो वो ऑफर करेंगे।
तन्वी जी नमस्कार। मैं नहीं समझता ये इनका आकलन सही है कंपटीशन में, और वो ऐसे समय में जब एमएसपी अभी चालू है जो कि बंद हो जानी चाहिए, और मार्केट कमेटी तो फुल्ली, मार्केट कमेटी खत्म होने का डर नहीं, मार्केट कमेटीज खत्म होनी ही चाहिए, क्योंकि वहां पे जो लोग हैं वो ही तो लूट रहे हैं। एपीएमसी वाज अ टूल टू लूट किसान, क्योंकि अभी तक के जो निगेटिव सब्सिडाइजेशन अगर आप देखेंगे तो निगेटिव सब्सिडाइजेशन के लिए जो 154 लॉज किए हैं उसमें एपीएमसी एंड एसेंशियल कमोडिटी एक्ट ये तो सबसे पहले है। तो जो कानून हमको लूटने के लिए बनाया गया है उसमें से अगर हम बाहर निकलते हैं तो अच्छा है। ये जो इनका डर है, या पता नहीं क्यों डर रहे हैं किसी मोनोपोली से, सारी बड़ी कंपनियां मोनोपोली आए इसके लिए जद्दोजहद करती रहती है और कंपटीशन में उतरती है। ऐसा कभी हुआ नहीं है कभी कि कोई एक ही आदमी पूरा, हाँ सोशलिस्टिक पैटर्न में ये हो सकता है, जैसे अभी आज हो रहा है। अडानी और अंबानी का ये नाम ले रहे हैं, ये लोग बड़े कैसे हुए? वो तो सोशलिस्टिक किसमें हुए? अब ये जो है ये सोशलिस्ट पैटर्न से हम अगर बाजू में हट रहे हैं तो इसमें ये डर की क्या वजह है? ये तो बहुत ही गलत आकलन है, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं होता, कंपटीशन में ऐसा होता ही नहीं कभी। और जो चीज गवर्नमेंट 19 रुपए से खरीद रही है और 2 रुपए किलो में बेच रही है, कोई कारपोरेट पागल है क्या वो उस धंधे में जाने के लिए? देखिए एपीएमसी ने और एसेंशियल कमोडिटी एक्ट ने पूरा मार्केट खत्म कर दिया है एग्रीकल्चरल कमोडिटी का। वी डोंट हैव एनी मार्केट एज सच। द एपीएमसी, एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस मार्केट कमेटी, इज द ओनली नेम, बट इट इज नॉट अ मार्केट। वहां तो एग्रीगेटर्स बैठे हुए हैं। और मुझे एक बात बताइए, एपीएमसी तो खलासी होनी चाहिए। एपीएमसी में पाला आप समझते हैं कि नहीं पता नहीं, वो मिक्स कर देते हैं सब माल, यानी जो भी आता है अच्छे माल में खराब माल को मिक्स करते हैं। वहां तो अडल्ट्रेशन होता है, दे आर अडल्ट्रेटिंग पॉइंट्स। सारा अच्छा माल में खराब माल वो मिक्स करके आगे भेज देते हैं। ये तो बात गलत है। एपीएमसी
तो आप तो वैसे भी कह रहे हैं एपीएमसी नहीं ही होनी चाहिए, इट शुड बी एन ओपन मार्केट अक्रॉस द कंट्री, ये आपका कहना है। let me bring in another panelist. We are talking right now on the issue of opening up the markets where farmers can sell their produce where they choose to. Dr. Narendra Pani, what is your view? Is this detrimental or beneficial, or is it a law that harms certain states but benefits farmers in other states?
The idea of competition sounds very good in theory, but it comes with some very real problems within it. Competition theory is always based upon the assumption of equality between all the players, right? That you put in more players and then you get a certain equality within that. But if you're going to get the largest business houses with prior knowledge of the law setting up large storage capacities, that leads to the very real possibility that they procure at one price, stock it up, create artificial shortages, and then sell. You can just have to look at the difference already in food products between what you get in large chains, in large kind of shopping chains, and what the farmer actually gets for it. That difference doesn't come from APMC. That difference comes from supermarkets. That's where the price difference comes in. And now if you make that into the main source of your main market, as it were, those margins will increase. The monopoly that comes in will come in at that level. And if over time the farmers get hurt, you're targeting another aspect of competition. Competition implies that some will win and some will lose. For economists or those sitting away and looking at the larger picture in terms of great production, there's no problem. You can say, okay, production has gone up. But for what happens to those who lose? Now, in industry, that distinction does not really matter very much, in the sense that those who lose are not among the poorest. In agriculture, it includes those who are among the poorest in a country where we still have a hunger issue, as any international estimates tell us. Right? And in those kind of situations, if you actually end up creating further uncertainty for the poorer farmers, you're going to have a serious social crisis. It's not something that should surprise us, because this has happened all over the world when the open market has been let into agriculture, or there has been a transformation in general from agriculture to industry. In fact, we must remember that agriculture remains in India as a safety net, even for those who have moved out of agriculture. And my farmer friends, I'm sure, would recognize that at each point of time, any number of people who move out retain their foothold in agriculture. Some treat it as some kind of an emotional bondage, but most would recognize that there is a very strong safety net that is built into it. I go into the city, things don't work out, I still can go back to my land at what pace. This happened through Indian history. You take the textile strike decades ago. Even then, people went back to their land. In that kind of a situation, you're going to create a completely open market where that option is lost. You're asking for very serious social trouble. It's not just a farmer problem anymore, and that's what you're already seeing.
Okay, that's an interesting point that you've raised. So let me actually go across to Mr. Mishra then and ask that. Mr. Mishra, is that one thing that is maybe troubling a lot of people, that your own safety net goes away? Already many farmers have a lot of other struggles. To add to that, this one as well.
Tanviji, these acts are for the farmers of our country, India. We are not a Western countries having 4-5 crops only. In India, there are 127 agroclimatic zones. Around 45,000 crops are grown. Only 3, 4, 5 crops are linked with the APMC. They are mostly food grains and pulses. Some cotton, some coconut, some sugarcane, like that. So it is an act for all the farmers. It is not limited to an area or limited to a crops. So the poorest, what the Mr. Previous speaker was telling, the poorest and poorest farmers are never linked with the APMC. Forget that. They are producing very limited production. They store for their annual consumption in their house. If there is a very little surplus, they went to the market. That is the open market. They are not coming to the APMC. So APMC will be survive or it will not survive. That is another issue. What actually happens during the regime of APMC, that is a different issue. These acts are for the entire country and all the farmers all together. Even the dairy, even the fishery, even the piggery, even the guttery, all these issues are to be covered under these acts. So the pure psychosis comes from somewhere. Where can better in media arena. Every print media was in the pure psychosis. Okay, we are lost. And when TV came into our media system, every radio and print media, they have in pure psychosis. We are lost, we are gone. But when internet came, then people find that TVs will shut down. But everybody will under a competition. We have a choice. Small farmers, big farmers, medium farmers, and as in the media also, we want a choice. The organic farmers want a choice. The tribal farmers want a choice. They are not going to mandis. So this is a different issue, and we are just concerning the issue within the mandis. 5-6% farmers and 3 to 4 crops only.
Okay,
These
so
laws are
let's
not
broaden it. Let's broaden the horizon, Mr. Mishra. Okay, I take your point. And of course, the debate on whether competition is good for any sector or not, and maybe for a lot of corporate sectors it is good, but is agriculture and the agriculture population, farmer population in our country really the one where we want to try this and play with their lives is another thing. I can right now think and name many sectors, many other corporate sectors which are opened up, and we said, oh, competition is good, but at the end of the day right now there are only 1 or 2 maybe companies in those sectors, and at some point the consumers in those sectors will be at the mercy of those service providers. You will sell to me at what price you want, and that is how it is. Now you can say, well, market dynamics decided that other players could not sustain and it's only this one company, but at the end of the day that's the company, and that's the company that decides to call the shots. It's happening. I'm sure all of our panelists understand what I'm referring to. But let's go to the next big topic, which is the MSP, the minimum support price. Now the farmers are saying, take back these laws and give us one law on MSP. MSP currently exists, but for a few crops and for a very small percentage of the farming population in our country. It's not really referred to in the new 3 laws. The 3 new laws have absolutely no reference to the MSP at all. तो क्यों वहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है? Let me start off again with आदित्य चौधरी. आदित्य चौधरी, जब नए कानूनों में MSP की कोई बात ही नहीं, तो उसको क्यों अभी हम मुद्दा बना रहे हैं?
MSP आज का मुद्दा नहीं है. मोदी जी को हम 2014 के चुनाव में जब किसान ने वोट किया तो इस मुद्दे पर लाया था कि मोदी जी ने वायदा किया था कि वो स्वामीनाथन रिपोर्ट के अनुसार C2 प्लस 50% का अपना वायदा पूरा करेंगे. लेकिन लगातार 2014 के बाद से किसान आंदोलन करता रहा. मंदसौर में हमारे साथियों ने अपनी शहादत दी. उसके बाद हम लोगों ने दिल्ली में 2018 में बहुत बड़ा इवेंट किया MSP की मांग को लेकर, और हमारे संगठन की तरफ से कुछ कानून प्रिपेयर किए गए, प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल, MSP गारंटी एक्ट, वो संसद में पेश हुआ. इसके बावजूद भी सरकार कहती हमने MSP दिया, 1.5 गुना दिया, MSP था, MSP है, रहेगा. सवाल ये नहीं है. आज किसान को जो MSP चाहिए उस पे खरीद की गारंटी चाहिए. सरकार MSP घोषित कर देती है लेकिन MSP पर खरीद नहीं होती है. सबसे बड़ी समस्या ये है. जो MSP सरकार देने का वायदा करती है, जो MSP की घोषणा करती है, उस पर खरीद कितने फीसदी हो रही है, ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल है. हमारे देश के मात्र 6% किसानों को ही MSP पर फसल बिक पा रही है. इसके बावजूद भी सरकार MSP बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न है. और हमारा संगठन प्राइमरीली, हमारे जो नेता है VM सिंह, और सबसे पहले इस बात को कहते हैं कि आप MSP गारंटी एक्ट बना दीजिए, MSP पर खरीद की गारंटी होगी, तो ये तीनों बिल अपने आप से बिल्कुल ध्वस्त हो जाएंगे.
ओके, मोहिनी मोहन मिश्रा, आपका क्या व्यू है? क्योंकि कि MSP अगर हम अश्योर कर दें तो क्या बाकी सब प्रॉब्लम्स अपने आप रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगी? द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम टुडे फॉर द फार्मर्स इज कि उनको अपने ही प्रोड्यूस का पैसा नहीं मिलता. दे आर नॉट एबल टू मेक अप द मनी दैट दे आर पुटिंग इन टू ग्रो दीज प्रोड्यूस. तो वो सस्टेनेंस या एश्योरेंस कहाँ से? नहीं तो वो बार बार कर्ज ही लेते रहेंगे, कभी पैसा कमाएंगे ही नहीं.
That is a different issue at all, because these farmers who are agitating now, they are concentrated with 3, 4, 5 crops only.
Yes.
That is the whole problem is there. MSP is declared about 23 crops. Another 3, 4 crops are under the purview. But what about the 46,000 crops? What about those farmers who are cultivating other crops? Or anybody can declare MSP? The Punjab, Haryana and Western UP farmers, they have a problem, little problem. What they are investing more in producing rice. The rice belt is from Assam to Goa and Andaman and that area, Goa and Kerala and everything. They use little water or irrigation water. They are totally rampant crop production. Their investment is very less. In Punjab, Haryana, they are using the groundwater or irrigation water. They are spending too much for production of rice. They are not a consumer of the rice also. So the problem lies there only. So MSP, you can declare another 25 crops, but what about the 40,000 crops? So that is a different issue.
पर उसके जरूरी है कि नहीं, आपका क्या मानना है कि ये सपोर्ट प्राइस देना चाहिए किसानों को कि वो भी मार्केट पे छोड़ देना चाहिए, और देना है तो कौन देगा, सरकार देगी या जो भी खरीदारी कर रहा है वो?
देखिए, हमारा ये डिफरेंट आर्गुमेंट विद दिस इश्यूज। एमएसपी विद इन द मंडी एंड आउटसाइड द मंडी, ये कोई नहीं बोल रहा है।
हाँ,
मंडी के अंदर भी एमएसपी नहीं मिल रहा है, लूट हो रहा है। जो यहाँ बोल रहे थे ललित जी, मंडी के अंदर लूट मार हो रहा है। इसलिए अगर ये कानून, नया कानून बनाना पड़ेगा, केंद्र और राज्य मिलकर बनाना पड़ेगा। मंडी के अंदर राज्य सरकार, मंडी कानून इज कंट्रोल ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट and this कानून is under control of central government. So both state and center sit together, draft a new law that within the mandi and outside the mandi, MSP must be the benchmark. Then the private traders will be under pressure, and it will be, farmers may get a better price about the all 23 crops. That's all.
okay, let me now bring in Mr. Lalit, because Mr. Lalit Patil Bhale, I know, believes कि MSP होना ही नहीं चाहिए किसी भी क्रॉप के लिए।
ये एमएसपी की वजह से ही सारे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट हो रहे हैं। एमएसपी इज अ minimum support price. Why the farmers are fighting for minimum support price? Why are not they fighting for premium prices? Have you ever had industrial produce market committees? We are producers. The main difference why this is happening, because you people or the people in general, they don't think farmers to be the producers. They think they are somewhat because in 1951 we were users and not land holders. And that's why we are being treated as the majdoors in the farms. We want to see it in the line of MSMEs, the producers. We are producers. We can't have a demand like trade unions. हमें एमएसपी चाहिए, हमें एमएसपी चाहिए। ये ट्रेड यूनियन वाली डिमांड है, लेकिन ट्रेड यूनियन वाली डिमांड ये मजदूरों को शोभा देती है, हमको नहीं। हम तो चाहेंगे कि हम सीड एक्ट आप रिपील करिए सबसे पहले, क्योंकि हमको वही बोना पड़ता है जो सीड अप्रूव करता है गवर्नमेंट, तो वो भी रिपील होना चाहिए। तो ये चीजें बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। एंड द प्लेस वेयर फार्मर्स आर कंपेल्ड टू sell in tons, he will never get his remuneration. His profession will not be remunerative. You should a farmer should go for the packaging of consumer size. Unless and until he takes the trolleys and tractors and trucks in the market, he won't be the realization of prices will not be there. So that's why we want technology. That's why we want the contract farming. That is the thing. So these three laws.
So who will bring this
us.
in? Who will bring in this technology? We've been talking about, even since this government came, before that they promised us a very exhaustive network of cold storage, warehousing, high-tech technology to enable this kind of movement and easy selling for the farmers. But not even a fraction of that has happened.
No,
so
it can't happen unless and until. No, it can't happen unless and until the farmers are freed. They should have free hand. The monetization of land should be there. In Maharashtra, we can't go and mortgage our land, and that's why we can't get money out of it. That is the thing. We can't sell our land to Amitabh Bachchan, because he is not a farmer. These are the laws which have restricted our expansion of our occupation. These are the laws which have restricted any of the non-farming community, any of the non-farming entrepreneur. He is free to expand his occupation, but we are not. We have agricultural land ceiling. Why there is agricultural land ceiling? So it is not these laws only. There has to be many. Like somebody said, this is the first step. I think you said only this is the first step. Yeah. So this is the first step. This is and not only first step. This is a baby step.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Dr. Narendra Pani on this. Then, Dr. Pani, the debate over MSPs. Now, many say it's not even part of these laws. So, why are we bringing that in? First, let these laws get implemented, and then we move ahead. What is your view? Should the farmers be given a minimum assurance, or should it be like any other sector?
See, let's be very clear about one thing, as the previous speaker put it very succinctly. These laws are designed for converting farming making it on par with any other industry. That would work, perhaps. I'm not sure in the way the laws are designed. There are several lacunae in that. But letting that apart, the idea of a free market can be used the logic of a free market can be used to push production. But that process of creating competition has a price to be paid by those who cannot compete. And in the large farmers, the ones who have access to the market, they would all follow the patterns, or they would expect to follow. There will be losses even among them, but they can expect with some chance to follow the kind of dreams that the previous speaker has. But the issue really is what happens to a very large majority of small and marginal farmers. And if they go out of production, you move agriculture into the mechanized sphere. What happens to the agricultural labor? Now, these are issues that need not concern the large farmer, because they'll just be, particularly the kind of modernized large farmer, will only be looking at more production and greater profit. But as any policy maker would have to note that there is a major chunk whose interests need to be protected, and that's where the MSP comes in. I think the MSP is actually not the real term that should be used here, as the first speaker pointed out. MSP is they want a guarantee of procurement.
Guaranteed price.
This was used for the Green Revolution, and if you abandon that now, you run the risk of also abandoning the food security. Because it is that procurement that you can ensure, whether it's through the mandis or whatever source you want to take. It is that procurement that ensures that even in a time like the COVID crisis, you could give literally millions of tons of food when it was needed. If you did not have the system in place, you did not have the stocks provided by procurement, you would have had a much worse problem at the time of the crisis. These procurement stocks are critical to food security, and we might say that we are no longer talking about food deficits, but we are still talking about hunger. Please try and understand, we are a country that claims to be among the top economies in the world, and yet we are among the worst hit by hunger. In any global hunger index, we have a problem of malnourishment of our children. We have a problem of stuntedness. These are serious food issues. And you need that procurement stock. Before dismantling that system, you must have alternative ways of putting these stocks in place. Right? Nobody is going to, if I procure and I can keep my own stocks as a large business person, I'm not going to give it at a time of a crisis.
Okay, very important point. Mr. Mishra, do you have a view on this?
Yes. I fully agree with Dr. Pani. Food security is prima facie for our country, India, like that. But we are again discussing the traders only. We are not discussing the farmers issue.
Yes.
If at all, we are discussing about the competition among the traders. Big players will come, but we are not discussing about the more market option for the farmers. Let us shift the discussion toward the farmers issue. We are not discussing with the traders, whoever he may be. He may be Adani, Ambani, Tata, Birla, Lalitji or Paniji, anybody. Farmers should get a better price. And the entire country, one knows that 85% are the very less small farmers. And they will be becoming more smaller in the next years. So that is the issue. We have to address those farmers. And simultaneously, the food security issue. That is also a very serious issue. And rightfully, Paniji are taking that issue. It's very nice. Food security issue and the MSP, APMC, these are all linked. So all options must be open for the farmers. And
Well,
we
I
must
just want to
discuss-
add to the food security part that
Yes.
one would assume, and correct me if I am wrong, that the government still needs to continue doing that. That irrespective of whether you open up the markets, to the big corporates who come and start buying, however much they want to buy, the government still needs to look out for the interest of the nation and people in this country and factor in how much of food you need to store for emergency purposes, or when they need to come into the rescue of the farmers and give them the proper price. Mr. Lalit, would that be correct?
You don't worry about the farmers to get prices. It is their job to realize the market in this sense. See, MSP has made this situation very bad. They are producing surpluses. So MSP is the reason why the Punjab farmers are wasting water and Haryana farmers are wasting water unnecessarily. They are producing more. There has to be diversification. They should stop growing. Our organization can give you a better solution for which is better than MSP.
चलिए, ओके, आई एम आउट ऑफ टाइम. आई एम सॉरी ललित पाटिल जी, लेकिन आज समय खत्म हो गया. पर मैं आदित्य चौधरी को भी ये बोल दूं, आदित्य चौधरी जी, ये आपको ऑफर आ रहा है शेतकारी संगठन से कि हम आपको बेटर सोल्यूशन देंगे एमएसपी के बजाय. जिस चीज की आप खेती ज्यादा कर रहे हैं उसको छोड़ के दूसरे प्रोड्यूस को भी देखिए. और एक दिन बात करेंगे, आज समय पूरा खत्म हो चुका है. आई हैव टू गो बैक टू द स्टोरी ऑफ द ब्लास्ट इन द नेशनल कैपिटल एंड गेट दोज अपडेट्स. बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ द पैनलिस्ट्स हु जॉइंड अस ऑन दिस कन्वर्सेशन. देयर यू सी, viewers, the point is this is not a black or white debate. This is not absolutely good or absolutely bad for the entire country debate. There are a few things which are good in these laws, and especially for farmers across the country, maybe not just these handful of states. The point is, and the problem is that in our country, every state has its own set of regulations and rules, has its own specific produce which we grow more in those states, which we focus more on, and its own rules and regulations for the markets, agriculture markets. So a Punjab is different from a Bihar, which is extremely different from a Maharashtra, which is very different from Kerala or Delhi. One rule perhaps doesn't suit all, which is where this problem actually comes from. The fact that the central government decided to play around with the rules that then interfere with the state system. Now, perhaps it's for the state governments to also step up and say, let's try and find a solution which is beneficial for our state while in line with the reforms that the center is trying to bring in. It isn't black or white, it isn't all wrong or all right. But everybody will agree that reforms in this sector are much needed. Thank you so much for joining us.